Hello everyone, back tuning into today's video. I'm going to have a look at the weather next week to 10 days in today's video. This takes us to Christmas Day, actually. 10th day is 25th of December, so going to Christmas Day with this update. Tonight, I'll go through the GFS ensembles for you, and we'll have a look at all the different options that are within the GFS ensembles for the whole of the Christmas week. You go from around the 23rd through to New Year's Eve, something like that. So I'll run you through that, but I haven't got time to include the GFS ensembles in today's first video, but we'll do that this evening. And you'll find it on the homepage. It won't be on the Christmas updates page because officially it's not really a Christmas update, although we'll cover the Christmas week. But as I say, this is looking at next week, 10 days. It takes us to Christmas Day, so I'll go on with that in a second. Before we get on with that, just say about the ads. There's links to articles on all the pages. Have a browse through widgets, click through the links. If there's any articles that you're interested in, you're going to be happy to pay for our website. Thanks so much for doing that. Christmas Shop remains open, so if you've got any Christmas shopping to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, just click the green button that says Christmas Shop. It takes you to our Christmas Shop page. And then from there, you go through the Amazon banners. And because you've gone from gas service to Amazon, we get a revenue fee on the things that you are buying. Big thank you to everybody for doing that. Been a huge success again this year, as always. You've still got time to get those Christmas presents out to you. It's 10 days away. And they're pretty quick with the postage and delivery at Amazon. But I wouldn't leave it very much longer now. Time really is ticking away. So thanks to everybody for doing that. Right, we'll start off with Central England temperature from Hadley. So this is provisional up to yesterday, 14th of December. We've just about reached the midpoint of the month, and we've got an anomaly of 2 degrees above average. So we currently stand provisionally at 6.9. which is, I say, an anomaly of 2 degrees milder than average. That's after a cold opening couple of days with quite a bit of frost. So it really has been very mild over the past week or so. A reminder of what happened last year, of course. This is the CET list at Hadley going right way back to 1659. Central temperature is the longest and most reliable temperature record on Earth. Actually, there's no temperature record that goes back further than 1659. Of course, as you go back sort of the 1700s, 1600s, rather unreliable, but it's the best we've got, and it's the most longest, most consistent temperature record anywhere on Earth. And a reminder of what happened last December, where we came out with an incredible temperature of 9.7 degrees. So we're still around a couple of degrees cooler than we was in December 2015. I don't see us getting anywhere near that remarkable Central England temperature that we recorded in December 2015. I don't think we'll get anywhere near that record. We may not get anywhere near that record for a very, very long time, because it was around a degree or maybe a degree and a half above the previous temperature record, which I think was set in both 1974 and something like 1934. So it's around a degree and a half above those old December temperature records, and that's a very big difference to the previous record. So I think it'll stand, this December 2015 CET record. I think that will stand for a very long time, even taking into account the warming that is going on. Last time we had a cold December was back in 2010. That one was remarkably cold, with a central temperature of minus 0.7 degrees. It's almost the coldest December on record, just beaten by 1890. I can scroll you back up to 1890, very long time ago, of course. There is the year of 1890, which had a Central England temperature of minus 0.8 in December 1890. So December 2010 was only 0.1 of a degree off reaching that coldest December on record in 1890. So that was a remarkable month as well in December 2010. We really do seem to be going through some rather extreme weather at the moment. The Decembers in between 2010 and 2016 have all generally been quite mild. 2011 came out at 6.0. 2012 at 4.8, a bit cooler, that one. And then 2013, very mild, 6.3. 2014, 5.2, round average, really. And, of course, we know what happened last year. And you have to go back to 2010, since we had a widespread snow event across the country in December, so that's quite a long time ago as well. I've been having a look back at past Decembers, and generally you seem to get a widespread snow event about 1 in 3 Decembers, something like that, 1 in 3, 1 in 4 Decembers on average. So, and of course, it's much more than that in Scotland, but I'm talking about a widespread UK snow event. So we've gone 6 years now so far about a widespread snow event in December, which is very unusual to go that long. Of course, we've still got a couple of weeks left for December, so we might get something before the month is out. Although at the moment things aren't looking great. So let's have a look at the aren't looking great for a widespread snow event, I should say. So let's have a look at the weather next week to 10 days. We'll start off with the 500 millibar height anomaly flowchart. It's got the E70F here on the top. The GFS is on the bottom. Have a look at that in a moment. 500 millibars, 80,000 feet is an area in the atmosphere. High pressure, low pressure being moved around by the jet stream. Blue extrapolates to low pressure and red to high pressure. So we've got this big trough here, or this big ridge, I should say, here to the east and northeast of us. For the next week to 10 days. This takes us, say, to Christmas Day. That's a big area of high pressure in across Scandinavia and northeastern parts of Europe. But we've also got a bit of an attack going on from the Atlantic with a very deep trough out to west. So a proper battle's taking place here between the ridge to the east and the trough to the west. And it essentially means that we're doing something like that with the jet stream. So it looks fairly Atlantic driven there as we're going up into the Christmas period. Pretty mild as well. And just the difference, probably from what we've had so far, is that we're getting more rain with that, most definitely, and also probably some stronger winds as well. GFS looks very similar, so again we've got this deep trough out to the west of us, and then we've got that big ridge of above average heights sitting to the east and northeast of us, and again the jet stream is doing something rather like that. So the trough is even deeper on the GFS, it's more unsettled than the E70F. It does suggest a chance of bouts of rain, strong winds running up towards Christmas as well, pretty mild weather. Also, have to keep an eye on this ridge, of course. It is a very strong ridge that's out to the northeast. And if it was to start moving in that sort of direction, if it was to start retrogressing and heading up towards Greenland, then we would begin to open the door to much colder northerly winds. But so far, or northeasterly winds, so far, at least on the operational models, there's no sign of this occurring. Some of the ensemble members of the GFS ensembles, and I'll talk you through those tonight, around 7 o'clock on the homepage. We'll go through those GFS ensemble members. Some of them do actually bring the winds into the northeast eventually through that final week of December. But they aren't that well supported. So these are the temperature, or this is the temperature ensembles for the next couple of weeks. In terms of the upper air temperatures, the red line here is the 30-year temperature average. We're milder than average right now. We're staying milder than average into next week as well. Dates on the bottom of the chart, of course. And just a lot of scattered areas. We're going through this final week of December, which is this period just here. Lots of scatter. So there are some colder members of the GFS ensembles. That one in particular, the gold run, but also these green runs at the end and sort of that orange coloured run. But also there are several very mild members as well. So the trend of the model, I think, is to keep things pretty mild into the final week of December. But there are exceptions. And as I say, we will go through those ensemble options tonight. Lots of dry weather coming up for the rest of this week, but then very clearly the precipitation spikes are returning next week as we head up towards Christmas. It looks like it's turning a lot wetter, and that takes us through into the Christmas period as well. Much more unsettled conditions. Temperature anomaly is actually looking pretty chilly for most parts of Europe. It's just the far northwest, coming out mild on average. So the UK, wouldn't you know, it is mild on average, and Scandinavia has the biggest warmer than average deviation over the next week, looking very mild up there. But actually most parts of Europe looking quite chilly, especially up towards Russia, where very cold air is in there a long way away from us. But it does go down into the southeast of Europe, so we've spoken about this already earlier in the week. Places like Greece and Turkey coming out significantly colder than average, whereas the milder than average conditions up in the northwest. Even reports of snow places like the Middle East, and that's just what happens when it's milder in the northwest. It tends to be colder in the southeast of Europe. That's one of nature's sort of balancing acts. So this is how we're looking on Monday. Still high pressure ridging through the country, still holding on Monday. There could be some chillier temperatures with that. I think we'll turn a bit cooler over the weekend. There might be some frost and fog to start next week. But through the week, that high pressure is broken down as this very intense and strong polar vortex gets going around Greenland. And that's sending weather fronts down across the UK, bringing our first bouts of substantial rain for a little while. We run up towards Christmas. This is Thursday 22nd of December, and then on Friday the 23rd, looking very Atlantic driven. It's not too stormy. There has been the suggestion, particularly last night with some of the GFS Ensemble members, that it could turn very stormy just before Christmas. It's not looking that bad running up towards Christmas today, but it is unsettled and the flow is coming off the Atlantic, so showers, longer spells of rain. And then this looks quite wet and windy for Christmas Eve, actually. Quite a deep area of low pressure coming in from the Atlantic, tight back to ice bars, so it is windy. And there's also some heavy rain moving in with that as well. This is how Christmas Day looks. This is day 10, 25th of December. And still unsettled, low pressure out to the northwest. We're beginning to stretch out low pressure, though, as the high to the east of us is trying to get back in control. And as we run up towards Boxing Day, actually, this high pressure starts to take over. That might bring some frost back through the second half of the Christmas period, so Boxing Day through to 27th of December, which of course is bank holiday this year. East MDF looks very similar. High pressure still in control for Monday, still there just about on Tuesday. Holding on by its fingertips on Wednesday, but by Thursday we are back into that Atlantic flow. Then the high pressure being pushed back in towards western Russia, and then this Atlantic flow takes us through up towards Christmas. This is Friday 23rd of December. This is Christmas Eve with low pressure moving in off the Atlantic, bringing no doubt some quite wet and windy weather. And then Christmas Day, day 10, still looking really quite unsettled. Actually, that suggests gale force winds for Scotland, and quite cold man, actually. Maybe some wintry showers over the Scottish hills. But generally, it's a fairly mildish but pretty unsettled Christmas Day there. And this next area of low pressure is waiting in the wings, probably to give us an unsettled day on Boxing Day, perhaps. Finally, the GEM, which is the Canadian model, we have high pressure holding on through the start of next week. It's broken down through the week by low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. That's Christmas Eve, looking fairly mild, wet and windy. This is Christmas Day, day 10, into a cooler and more showery flow then, but it's all very Atlantic driven. Westerlies rule for Christmas. So it looks like we've got pretty good agreement on the pattern for Christmas itself. So you can see Christmas Day, which looks like it'll be quite Atlantic driven, possibly wet and windy on Christmas Eve, and more sort of showery and slightly cooler conditions, but not cold for Christmas Day. And then tonight we'll look at the GFS Ensemble options going through the whole of that Christmas week, so starting around the 23rd, 24th, going up towards New Year's Eve. We'll see what they all suggest tonight when we do that update, which will be around 7 o'clock this evening. Tomorrow, it's JMA Friday. That's going to take us through the next month. We'll see whether there's any sign of any cold conditions as we go into January. That's all for now then. Thanks for watching. Come back later on.